Good evening, everyone. Scoring the players' time after another defeat for Newcastle United. I'm here with Mr. Adam Phillips on the far side there, and in the middle is the Walrus, Liam Kerr. So let's get straight into it. Give this video a like and get your ratings into us in the comments. Let's start off with you, Liam, and you can have Karl Darlow. Not his finest hour today. He's been immense this season, but he won't be happy with his performance tonight, will he?
I'm surprised he started, to be fair. When I think I was doing a video a couple of days ago, I thought it was going to be Dubravka in goal. He got done for one of the goals. Obviously, he's near post, but I think people need to remember that Dubravka got done near post against Man U last season. I think it was 3 or 4-1. I think when we had the fans still in the stadium. There's not a lot he can do if the defence are shit. He's gonna get shots at him.
Oh no! The first goal is him, surely. Beating at your near post like that, that's him. He should be saving that, surely.
Yeah, but 4.
Well, that's harsh.
Do you think that's harsh?
He conceded 3 goals.
No, I still think it's harsh. I'm not going to defend him because I still think it was at fault for the first goal, like you have said. But I just think he's got this big thing in his back ever since Dubravka's come back injured. His form's just dipped, which is a shame.
Do you think he's feeling the pressure of it because
he's
on the bench?
I do, Sam. That's a great point. He seems to feel the pressure, and I've stuck up for Darlow game after game after game. And I just think it's time now. There's a big run in the games now. You need your strongest 11 out, and Dubravka's just that bit stronger.
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that. Adam, I'll let you continue with everyone's favourite, Emil Krafth.
I mean, he's our only fit right back, so he's going to play, and he's probably going to play the run in. I thought for the first goal he was shocking. I know Darlow gets some stick, but Rashford get past him far too easily. I think he might have megged him. And if a winger does that, you just foul him. Just give the foul away and get back in position, and then we get our shape. He doesn't. He's just too weak. Rashford shoulder barges him out, and then he still manages to get goal side of him. And then Rashford still gets around and gets a shot off. I didn't think he was great the whole game. I'll give him a 3. I think he's a big weak link in the team. A big weak link in the team. I think he makes mistake after mistake. I don't think he can really pass a ball. Not many positives to say, to be fair, on Emil Krafth again.
Interesting. Liam, where does the blame lie for that first goal? Is it Darlow, Krafth, or a combination of the two?
Steve Bruce.
We'll get to Steve Bruce. We'll get to Steve Bruce. There is a drop in the average. But
answering your question,
go on.
Answering your question, I think both of them are at fault.
Would Manquillo have done any better tonight?
There's no point saying that because it's never going to happen. So do you know what I mean? It's like a hypothetical. It's like would Messi have done better? Do you know what I mean? It's just there's no point answering it. Realistically.
Yeah, fair enough. We all agree right back is a huge problem area though. I'll continue with Jamal Lascelles. Tricky one, but on the whole, I thought he was okay. The second goal was a mess, a complete mess. The ball should never be reaching James on that, on their right hand side, our left. It goes past Lascelles, it goes past Clark, it goes past Lewis. Poor. Apart from that, he was okay. I'm going to score him down the middle and say 5. To be honest, he is a presence that we need, whether you like him or not, and whatever you think of his form this season, which we'll all agree isn't what it was, and he's been in and out of the team because he struggled to stay fit with niggling injuries here and there, and obviously that big bout of COVID as well. We heard him reports this week of tearing down a strip in the dressing room after the Chelsea performance, and that's what we need. As long as Lascelles is in there, we know we're kind of being stuck up for in a way, if you see what I mean, because he's seen it before. He did the same with McLaren. He's done the same now with Bruce. Look, we all know Bruce should have gone months ago. Lascelles' leadership is valued in a very, very quiet dressing room. But could he have played better tonight? Yes. Was he terrible? No. So that's why I've gone down the middle with 5 for Jamal Lascelles. Ciaran Clark, Liam, thoughts?
You've just got to go same as Lascelles. I don't think the two centre backs actually done much wrong today. I think it was down to the fullbacks that caused the issue, and obviously, my stance on Jamal Lewis, but there's two centre backs. I don't think they've done much wrong. It all went down the wings.
But surely, if it's all going down the wings, that's because we play such a narrow midfield.
Say that question again, sorry.
Because it all goes down the wings. Surely that's happened because we've got such a narrow midfield and they're there to be exploited.
Yeah, it's just like he just didn't learn from Chelsea. It's like the diamond formation is probably good against a team that doesn't have good explosive wingers, which, funny enough, Man U have got really quick wingers. Do you know what I mean? Like James, Rashford, Martial, they've got very quick players, and you're just sort of like sitting there. I was sitting there like thinking, scratching my head, saying, "What's he doing?" Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's just so frustrating
week after week,
watching that.
It's week after week now. We're saying the same things. It's week after week.
Like I started drinking at like 10 o'clock this morning, right? Looking forward to the match, and now I wish I just got like absolutely blacked out drunk just so I couldn't remember watching that. Do you know what I mean?
That'll be this Saturday. But yeah, 5 for the centre-back pairing, Lascelles and Clark. Would you bring Fernandes back in if he's fit on Saturday? And if so, who for?
Everybody.
If he's fit, if he's fit, he's got to. We know he's not going to drop Lascelles. So if it sticks to the same team, it's either going back to 5 at the back, which is a definite no-go against Wolves, or dropping Clark, unfortunately. But that's Fernandes does need to come back in my opinion.
Interesting. Adam, Jamal Lewis, another tough night for the young fullback.
I actually thought he did quite well first half. I thought, that James was getting a lot of the ball down the right. He did do quite well. Second half, we fell back into his old little routine. The second goal, so frustrating because Fernandes just gets that little touch, but his positioning's all over the place. Like, well, as not just him, as all the defenders were at that point. I'm going to give him a bit better than Kraft, but not as good as centre half. I'm going to give him a 4. It's just the same mistakes. So you can see why, his rumour to go to Liverpool. He's nowhere near that level. You can see why he went down in a poor Norwich team last year. And hopefully it's not going to be consecutive relegations to him because he just doesn't seem to learn from his mistakes, and it's really frustrating. Because I think there's a player in there. I know, like Liam doesn't, but with Emil Kraft, I don't see a player there. I don't see any kind of footballer in there. But with Lewis, I do somewhere. But it's just I don't think I don't know if he gets told he's making mistakes off the management or the coaches. He just seems to make the same mistakes. But I thought first half he did do quite well. Second half just fell back into the same old complacent, big quarter position, poor on the ball. And James finished well from him, kind of just. But Fernandes did get a little touch, but yeah, all from him.
I agree with everything you just said. Liam, you won't because you hate Jamal Lewis.
Oh, well, I'm actually going to agree with what you have said, to be fair, but I think he had a good first half, and then for the second goal, I'm thinking, what are you doing? He just seems undroppable. Like, what's he got to do to be dropped?
Well, he's our only fit out-and-out left-back.
But I get that, but then you've got Richie and you've got Dummett. Just try something different. It's like if you work in a factory and the kid that can't screw the wheels on is like screwing one wheel on every 7th car. So you're coming out of the factory with like cars with no wheels.
Well, we can't all be hard-working, busy civil servants. I'll have John Joe Shelvey. This guy is so badly out of form. There was a real argument, and this all ties in with just what the hell is happening with the Longstaffs. Matty not even on the bench tonight. Jeff Hendrick was, but obviously back from suspension. Sean on the bench, but nowhere to be seen. It's bizarre. Shelby's so out of touch. So out of touch. Scoring wise, was he better than Jamal Lewis? No. Was he worse than Jamal Lewis? No. So I'll go levels you devils and go with Jamal Lewis and give John Joe a 4. He's badly out of form. Started off well and got further up the pitch, as everyone did in the first half an hour in particular. High press, energetic, which is not something you'd associate with Shelby, but that didn't last long. Like Steve said in the comments there, good first half. In particular, first half an hour, he was good, but then just an absolute passenger for the rest of the game, and he's badly out of form. Badly out of form.
I don't think he's fit. I don't think he can play 90 minutes. I really don't. I know his body language usually insinuates that anyway, but after 60 minutes, he can't run. And I know his body language doesn't help him, but he just doesn't look like he can chase the ball after 60 minutes. And that's when you need your big players, especially what's going to come up the next 10, 12 games. We need grafters on that pitch. And if it means taking him out just to sacrifice that bit of quality he's meant to have on the ball, not that he usually does, but he's meant to have on the ball, and I'd do it. I'd get him up the team.
Yeah, I think there was a big when you see ASM come off and Shelby on for 90 minutes, then you're scratching your head somewhat, aren't you? Liam, I'll let you have Isaac Hayden. As Adam is drinking Thatchers. Get you well done, sir. Sorry, Liam.
We'll afford it, Liam. Just my first one. Working on one.
Just a quick thing on John Joe Shelby. Do you remember before he came to us, and obviously he was at Swansea, and he played that FA Cup match just before he came, and then he just didn't track back, and he literally just stooped down. It just seems like it's that people wonder why Liverpool got rid of him, and that's the reason why. He was going to be the next Steven Gerrard, and he just can't move. He's so talented as a player, but he just doesn't have the. It doesn't seem he doesn't have the energy or the lung capacity to actually run 20 yards. Do you know what I mean? But whatever. It's only took 70 years to discover that.
Well, Rafa knew he would have been on his way out if Rafa had stayed, but let's not get bogged down in Rafa.
We can't discuss Rafa Benitez anymore. Do you know what I mean? He's in the past. Do you know what I mean? If we discuss Rafa Benitez, then we get wrong off the pundits. So can you not discuss him, please?
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Isaac Hayden, I didn't really see much of him the day 4. If I'm being honest, it was one of the games where I thought the midfield was just shocking. We didn't do much. I don't think Hayden, he just does his average performance, but I don't think he was just average. Piss poor.
There's 2 kind of poor performances now in a row from Isaac Hayden. Adam, are you a bit worried about this downturn in form? Normally he's Mr. Reliable.
I wouldn't say I'm worried because he's still one of the first names on the team sheet for me. Is he out of form? Yes, but as are the whole team, really. I mean, we're a bit better than we were, but I don't think this new style of formation suits Hayden, if I'm honest. The goal against Chelsea, if you remember last week, and Rashford's today, although they were different goals, they came from the right-hand side, and that's kind of where Hayden's meant to be helping out a bit, but because we're that narrow, is he quick enough to get across? You know, if you remember the Chelsea goal, I think Kraft was exposed for that, and he had no help. And today, even though Kraft was terrible, it was kind of very similar. We need to get our shape sorted pretty quickly in relation to that. But yeah, I've still got faith in. I don't have faith in many of them, but I still have a lot of faith in Isaac Hayden to do his best to keep us up. He's one I'd trust to give 100%. Good game or bad game.
Whilst we're with you, Adam, Joe Willock, how do you think he got
on? As Liam said, kind of game seemed to pass him by a lot. Go straight to the controversial decision. As soon as I seen the tackle going, I thought straight away a penalty. I think the referee should have been given a second chance to look at it, because I think on checking on the socials and looking after it, it was quite harsh. He did try and pull out, which the commentators acknowledged at the time. So why VAR didn't say it, just go and have another look. If the ref wanted to keep his first decision, fair enough, because I thought it was a penalty straight away. But what did we give Hayden, 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't give him any higher or lower, so probably 4. he's learning the hard way what it's like to play for Newcastle United. It's not like it was in his first game. In Southampton where he got the goal, it's going to be a tough slog for him. Let's just hope he has the heart to do it, because his heart's obviously, it's not really at Newcastle. He's trying to impress to get an Arsenal team, but we need him to have a good 10 or 11 games now to get out of trouble.
Yeah. Liam, what did you make of the penalty incident? Was it a bit of a stupid challenge or a bit of a soft one?
Rashford went down like a sack of shit, to be fair, didn't he?
Yeah, he always does.
But the commentator even said, is that enough to go down? And I think that's what they need to start looking at, is whether that force is enough to knock a player over. Because if he can still stride and shoot, then there's no reason to go down. But obviously the laws of the game are, if you touch someone in the box where you haven't got the ball, players are going to abuse it. Like Ian Robin used to do it all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah.
It was just... Maybe he's just young. I didn't really know like what to say, really. I'm just like sick of talking shit this year about Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? Like, it seems like every time I come on this show, it's just so much negativity, and it just like, what's the fucking point? What's the point?
Unfortunately, when we lose, there tends to be negativity. It kind of comes with the territory.
But even when we win, it's shit. Like, you literally watching paint dry when you're watching Newcastle.
It's not normal. Yeah, well,
like, the amount of Netflix series I've watched on my phone watching Newcastle play is fucking ridiculous this season. Do you know what I mean?
Moving on. I get ASM, who I thought was really, really quiet in the first 15 minutes, and I thought he was a bit of a passenger early on when the rest of the team were working really hard. He wasn't having much joy, and then he kind of stopped and almost stropping when things weren't dropping right for him. After that, superb. He was absolutely superb. Nearly scored before he got the goal. Obviously got the goal. Brilliant finish. I'm giving him a 7. Looked lively after that, and I couldn't understand him being taken off when he was. Very, very odd one that was.
Is he not frustrating you, son?
Yeah, as I said, first 15 minutes, very frustrating, because he wasn't working anywhere near as hard as everyone else was. And I wanted him to get further up alongside Miggy, and the same can be said for Joe Linton. But that's what you get with a kind of flair player. David Ginley used to be like that sometimes. Ben Arthur was like that sometimes. Robert was like that sometimes. But it's just the moments of quality and genius that these players have within them, and he showed that with a lovely, well taken goal, and could have had another one. It is what it is, but he's getting a 7.
I only ask because I think the next 10, 12 games, which are going to be so tough, he needs to be more consistent during the 90 minutes. He really does, because as you say, he's the flair player. He showed us what he can do tonight. But again, I thought a lot of the game did pass him by. I agree, he shouldn't have been taken off, because he has got that little bit where he could be playing shite and then just wins you the game. But he just, for 90 minutes, he's got to be more consistent.
Against these sort of teams, though, it's going to be more of a struggle, because when you're playing such a narrow midfield, they're going to struggle to get out and support. And obviously our fullbacks are so out of touch and so... Well, the one is underperforming and the one is just not a Premier League player. I'll let you decide which one's which. But it's always going to be tricky when you play against like the better teams. The next 3 games, the next 4 games are going to be absolutely crucial. And this is where your ASMs and your Almiron could really come to the fore. Please God, otherwise we are in trouble. Miggy, he ran a lot today, Liam.
I don't actually remember him doing a lot, if I'm being honest. From what I can remember, I don't remember actually doing much. Like, I don't think it's the fault of the attacking free, but it's just you take Joe Linton off, who isn't the ideal centre forward, right? And then you bring Fraser on, and then you just sort of like scratching your head.
We're on about Miggy Almiron. Was he not the best player on the pitch in the first half?
No.
Who was then?
Best player on the pitch?
Best player on the pitch in the first half.
Probably Rashford, I would say.
For Newcastle.
Oh.
No,
I just think
I would go further. I would say Miggy was the best player on the pitch in the first half from either team.
But then what did he do? You're saying he's the best player on the pitch, but what did he actually do?
He was our outlet. He was electric. He was the one really working, as he always does, and we know, yes, he runs a lot. I thought he was absolutely sensational. ASM and Joe Linton couldn't keep up with him. If they could, we would have got a couple more goals on the counter-attack. Joe Linton infuriated me once. We'll come on to him, obviously, properly in a minute, but when he's jogging, when Almiron breaks and does the centre-backs for pace and looks to lay it off for someone in support, and Joe Linton's just casually jogging, and then just not there in support. Almiron deserved some much more better service. Obviously faded in the second half because the whole team did. I thought Almiron was superb in first half in particular anyway.
I think he looks like someone who cares, like he wants to play for the club, he wants to win games. Liam's right in a way that, attacking wise, he only had one shot, I think. As in, like trying to win like if you talk about like attacking phases, but Sam's right, his work rate was exceptional. Man, you were trying to play from the back and he wouldn't allow it, especially the first half. He just wouldn't allow it. Does that win your games? No, of course it doesn't. But he's seriously missing Callum Wilson. Seriously missing Callum Wilson.
Yeah. Liam, it's your mark. What are you giving Miggy?
5.
Oh.
You're seeing all this stuff, right? But he done fuck all at the end of the day. If you're saying he played so well, Adam's saying he had one shot. Fucking brilliant. 20 million for one shot. Fucking well done, son. Do you know what I mean? It's just like you're saying he runs a lot. He runs a lot, but so what? I could run a lot. Like we're having the same conversations over and over and over again about Miggy, right? And I'm not. This isn't Miggy's fault. It's Steve Bruce's fault. But
you've got to look at that. I know you're frustrated, Liam. Like, I get what you mean. He doesn't score the goals he should, but you've got to look at the bigger picture on what he brings to the team. You really do.
Just for the record, I'd give Miggy a 7.5 because I think he was our best player tonight. But there you go. He gets a 5 from Liam. Sure you don't want to change your mind? Take a run up?
No.
Adam, Joe Linton.
I'm not going to waste too much time talking about him because I'm sick of doing that. Like, I think Liam talks about Almiron like, so I'm sick to get Joe Linton these. I don't think it was his worst footballing performance for Newcastle. I've seen him play a lot worse the time he was on the pitch. But I think, Sam, you touched on it before, his fucking attitude is horrendous. His arms are flailing in the air. He doesn't work back. You look at Almiron, you look at ASM's, you look at Miggy, you look at ASM. The running, the trying to get the ball back, he's just not. His attitude really irritates us. Like, really. I don't think he wanted to be on the pitch. I think that's why he eventually came off. People say, he tried to work through an injury. I think the manager was keeping him on the pitch until he went down 3 or 4 times. He's not the player we need in the team for this next 12, 13 games because he's got the heart of a pea. He doesn't want to play for Newcastle. I'll give him a 3 out of 10 today. It might be a bit harsh. People might think, he wasn't that bad, but it's more his attitude. His attitude is really great on us now. He's quick to put photos of him getting his fucking haircut. He wants to start scoring some fucking goals for us because he's not good enough. I will go on to Ryan Fraser, who I thought was shite when he came on, but Joe Linton, he's had chance after chance after chance in this team. He doesn't care about the club. He doesn't care about playing for us. We're about to get fucking relegated, man, and we've got idiots like him running around for us.
I think that's harsh.
Yeah.
Do you not think he did better than Dwight Gayle did against Chelsea?
I think the game, not really. No, not really. I'm not that impressed with Dwight Gayle either, but I think it's not. Maybe it's not the right way to mark him, Sam. To be fair, because I'm probably marking him on his attitude rather than his football. But it's a big thing for me when I look at players. It's the attitude and what they put into a team, and he puts nothing. He puts absolutely nothing.
Liam,
I thought there was the odd moment from Joe Linton where he actually done something good, but it's just like that 10-second spell doesn't make up for like that 55 minutes he was on the pitch, or 54 minutes. Do you know what I mean? There's like he seems to do like one good thing and then just doesn't do like what a normal footballer would. If he does one good pass and then like the other 90% of the time he's on the pitch, he does nothing.
Interesting. Joe Linton gets a 3. He was replaced by Ryan Fraser, who, when I thought was come on, I thought actually that was the right substitution to make, because obviously Joe Linton wasn't playing through the middle. Almiron was central out of the kind of 3 attacking threats. So I thought Fraser was a good option to have. I thought he was absolutely horrendous when he came on, Fraser. I thought he was terrible. Really, really disappointing. I like Fraser. He's got tons of ability, but I thought he was absolutely woeful tonight. I'm giving him a 2 because Joe Linton was better than him tonight. Simple as that. And when Joe Linton's better than you, I think we suffered for Joe Linton going off, if anything. Fraser was that poor. We'll discuss the substitutions made when we talk about Steve Bruce, because I've an issue with a couple of them, but this wasn't one. I think this was purely down to player performance and was absolutely terrible. Anyone disagree?
About your score? I don't disagree about the score. I disagree about the substitutions, but you said they were going to discuss that later. So,
absolute we will. Jacob Murphy came on.
No.
Liam, it's your mark, this one. I thought he was terrible as well.
What was the point of bringing Jacob Murphy on? What was the point?
Was it VSM as well? It was VSM, wasn't it? Yeah, bizarre substitution.
Maybe Steve Bruce thought, I'll take ASM off just to not risk another injury, but I'm just thinking, like, you bring Fraser on, who replaces Joe Linton, who is arguably the centre forward, and then you bring Murphy on, who replaces ASM, and you're just sort of like scratching your head, saying who's actually playing up top. Miggy's not a striker, ASM's not a striker. They're all arguably the number 10s or attacking midfielders, and it's just fucking shit, really.
What are you giving him?
2. I don't even remember doing much in the game.
No, he was pretty appalling. Offered nothing. Some very, very an appalling cross, which I'm sure will delight Mr. Greenwood in our ongoing battle. Dwight Gale's getting a non-applicable. Substitution came far, far too late and just didn't have a chance to do anything whatsoever, which is a shame because he needed minutes after that poor performance against Chelsea, especially when we went flat after the second goal went in. So, Adam, I'll let you start for Steve Bruce. We'll see if we can agree on a score. To play devil's advocate slightly, does Bruce deserve credit for sticking with the back 4? Because he could have very easily gone back to a back 5 tonight.
Well, I'm really angry actually about Steve Bruce, and it's not really for his formation, it's not really for his substitutions. It's for this fucking way he behaved after the game, which I'll mention after quickly. I didn't really have much issue with the team he started. I'm really baffled why Matty Longstaff's not getting on the bench ahead of Jeff Hendrick. Again, that's probably for another video. Kraft, he's forced into playing Kraft because we don't have another right back. Although he could probably try Jacob Murphy there again. You know, he has done a couple of times. I don't agree with the Gillinton starting. I thought Fraser could have started. But after the game, the final whistle blows. You know, I'm still in a bad mood. Now I'll be in a bad mood all week till, you know, the next game about football. And he's laughing. He's laughing on the sideline with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I don't care what anyone says. I say, oh, you know, it's all right. You know, it's fucking not. We've got thousands of fans around the country who are livid about the club situation. Man U was probably one of our biggest rivals after Sunderland. You know, we hate getting beat off Man U. And he just walks off the touchline laughing, shaking hands and laughing. It's inexcusable for me. I can't stand the man anymore. I'll give him a 2, because I didn't really want to give him any more, but I'll give him a 2 for putting a team out. I just can't stand the man anymore. I really think he's taken us down. You look last night, if anyone watched Fulham play, the passion Scott Parker shows on the sideline and the way he reacted when the final whistle blew 1-0, he was over the moon. He was buzzing. That is what you need. I'm not saying, I think, Sam, you called it a few months ago and got hammered for it. You'd have Scott Parker as manager. And I'm not saying we have to get Scott Parker, but you need someone with that in a relegation battle, someone who's got that bit balls about them. And Steve Bruce, for me, you lose that game and you walk off laughing like it's funny. Fuck off, just go. I can't stand watching them. Yeah.
Liam, how do you feel about Steve Bruce this evening?
Same as Adam, really. It's just mind-boggling because for me, you look at Man U as a team, and then you would look at where their weakest are, and arguably their centre backs are shocking. And then you would look at the games they lost, which I think they lost against Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United a couple of weeks ago, and that was because they had a big, strong centre forward barging Maguire and Lindelof out the way, and then we start with Joe Linton, who I didn't think had the worst game, but then he takes Joe Linton off for Fraser, and then he brings Murphy on for ASM, and then he brings Gayle on for, I can't even remember who that was, but never mind. And you're just thinking, like, we haven't got an actual striker on the pitch. Like, no wonder we're not creating. And if we do create a chance, there's no cunt in the box. Sorry for swearing, but like, it's just like what goes through his head. Like why? Like, has he got a vendetta against Andy Carroll, or has he got like? You just cannot see him. It's just frustrating. Like it's just annoying because like I look forward to this match all weekend because I was at Graft yesterday, and it's just ruined me weekend. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're watching it and you're just thinking, wow, this is shit. This is poor. And like I don't think any player had a good game today, if I'm being honest. Like I think all of them were piss poor. People are saying individuals had a good game, but so what? I'd rather we'll win and every single player have a bad game. But people are saying, oh, it's looking positive because we're slightly playing slightly better. But so what? We're playing slightly better and still losing.
Still losing. Yeah, you're right.
Obviously, I know it was against Man U and Chelsea, right? And we are expected to lose. But then still, you can still put the effort in. And I just think this was the time to like maybe experiment with the team, and he's just going with the same old shit. Like he just does. Steve Bruce is just lacking tactical knowledge, and it's just frustrating. 0, I'm giving him.
Interesting. So the lineup, I thought was relatively bold for a Steve Bruce lineup. I thought it was. If you were going to play, how to phrase this? I think there was a big argument tonight for playing 5 at the back, but not the way Steve Bruce plays 5 at the back. It was just a game for Andy Carroll. It was, and I wanted Fraser on from the start. Obviously, we weren't to know he was going to play absolute shit when he came off the bench, but there was a big argument for having Ritchie on as well. Crosses into the box. Let Carroll absolutely batter the centre-back pairing. But he went with the back 4, fair enough. For 60 minutes, we were superb. We were the better team in the first half. 2 kind of lapses in ability, let them in, and a soft pen. The substitutions for me is where he went wrong today. And he cocked up big time with these subs. The Fraser one is the one I have the least problem with because, as I say, it's probably what I would have done. However,
I would have as well.
There was a big lull in the game, and 5 minutes before the second goal, we needed a change. We needed to freshen things up because we'd stagnated, we'd sat back, but. ASM off for Murphy. Bizarre. You could have made a real case for taking a Shelvey off for Andy Carroll and going 4-2-3-1. you could have made a case for, okay, fine, take ASM off, but stick Carroll on, so you've still got the shape of two wide men with Almiron and Fraser on the wings, and then Carroll getting balls into the box. But Murphy was just a strange one, and the token gesture that he does now of giving a striker 5 minutes at the end of the game is just a waste of time. What was the point? Like Liam says, what was the point? I'm giving him a 2, and it wasn't going to be that low, but Adam touched on it in his mini rant. The laughing and joking I'm sat with and smiling with Solskjaer at the end. I'm sorry, we're in a fucking relegation battle with really 3 points, which in essentially it's 2 points because Fulham have a far superior goal difference to us, which is worth an extra point down there. And you're fucking laughing and joking, and we've just lost again.
I think we've only won 2
because you're a fucking Manchester United fan. Great.
We've only won 2 out of 14, 2 out of 13, 2 out of 14.
Yeah, it's relegation.
We've only got 13 games left. You know, we need to win 5 or 6 games. Like, does he not see this? Our next 4 games are the most important games in this club. I dare say this club's history. Because if we go down, we're doing a Sunderland. We ain't coming back up. And we've got we've got Wolves, Villa are in there, West Brom,
yeah,
Brighton, and then after that we've got an absolute shite run. And if we have to go to Craven Cottage last day of the season, needing any points, poor.
Yeah, it's the next 4 games will dictate our season. I don't think we need 5 wins. To be honest, I still think we'd only need 3 and maybe a draw. 34, 35 points would probably do. I can't be having laughing and joking when you're in a freaking relegation battle and there's 6 and 7 teams looking over their shoulder horse shit. I'm sorry. Who the fuck do you think them 6 or 7 teams are? Everyone's clear apart from us and Brighton.
You know what I find a bit weird? Obviously, it came out that Lascelles kicked off a half-time against Chelsea, right? But why is Steve Bruce not doing it?
He's not bothered. You can see at the end of the day's game, he's not bothered. It's really annoyed me and it'll annoy me all week because he doesn't understand what it means to people like us who've now got to go to work all week and people want to talk about football all week. You can't be fucking arsed anymore. And he doesn't get it. He's not. And again, I've heard his press conference after the game today. He's still the penny hasn't dropped. We are in the shite. I think we'll go. I don't know what you lads think. I can see Fulham winning more than us. I think, and I think Brighton will win more than us. I think we are right going down. Like,
I'd fucking love Brighton to go down. Because then I'd win £500. But that's very much a separate issue. Liam, do you think we'll go down? Yes or no?
No.
No, I don't either somehow. But I think we could be sat here. But we could be sat here next week, and let's get things right. I know we've got Wolves at home on Saturday, and that's a game where we should be targeting points, and we absolutely should be targeting points from that fixture. Our record at home to Wolverhampton is appalling. Absolutely atrocious.
The only reason I disagree with you is I think we've got the team to stay up, no doubt about it. Every team we're playing looks at us and says we have to beat Newcastle United. Sheffield United did it. You know, the teams around us, you know, Fulham were unlucky not to beat us. They're going to look at us because they're fighting for lives and go, we'll beat Newcastle, no bother. And I think missing Callum Wilson's massive for us.
Yeah, we knew that would be the case. Who would you start up front very quickly against Wolves on Saturday? Because obviously I've said from the start the last 2 games have been games for Andy Carroll. I think Wolves is a game for Dwight Gayle. What do you 2 think?
Andy Carroll all day, me.
Adam?
I wouldn't be too unhappy if he stayed with today, but took Gillett now for Ryan Fraser. I want to see Ryan Fraser. I know he was shouting when he came on, but
he struggled to get a grip with the pace of the game when we were on the back foot, but that doesn't excuse how naff he was when he came on. But yeah, there's we all know his talent and his ability, and we need him. Let's face it, we need Fraser, we need Almiron, we need ASM, but especially whilst Wilson's injured. Scary times, but Get your ratings in the comments. Get your thoughts in the comments as well. Lee and Johnny are up next for the last word as the curtain comes down on another match day where Newcastle fail to win some points. It's going to be a very, very nervy end to the season. Please like this video and help out the channel. And as I say, get your ratings in the comments. And final one word answers from the two of you. Who starts in goal on Saturday? Liam?
Dubravka.
Adam?
Darlow. Yeah, I think they'll start Darlow.
I'm going to Dubravka. Right, last word coming up next with Johnny and Lee. Stay tuned to Newcastle Fans TV.